Meanwhile, let's go ahead and enter our next story, and that is Microsoft was caught experimenting with a handheld mode to bring to Windows 11.
Yeah, this is perfect. They specifically cite Steam Deck-like devices, right? Which we all know as handheld gaming PCs.
Right.
Something like the Ioneo Next, which runs Windows.
Yeah.
A handheld mode like this probably goes a long ways towards the viability of a product like that. And you got more on the way.
Yes.
I just got some emails today and I was like, oh, wow. We put in a lot of emails for, well, we didn't, but they reach out to us. I'm like, yes, no, yes, no. And then months go by and they all start pouring in. It's like, uh-oh.
It's like a Roman orgy. It's yes.
It's like that episode of
not yes, not yes.
Who is that, Jeff? Is that somebody?
History of the World, Part 1.
Oh, yeah, I don't like Mel Brooks.
Oh.
Yeah, no, he's not funny.
Oof. Them's fighting words.
Couldn't even say it straight face.
I know you couldn't. I know your BS answer at this point.
I was going to say it's like that episode of Parks and Rec when, all of those people show up for a meeting with Ron Swanson and April's like, you know how you tell me whenever people want a meeting to make sure it never happens? Yeah. Well, I always schedule them for March 31st.
Because I didn't think it existed.
Why? Exactly. Yeah.
How many meetings do I have today? 432.
Such a great episode.
Rhett says, yes, episode 1. Handhelds. Handhelds everywhere.
Yeah. Well, here's a handheld. I don't like the look of it, so it goes in the trash pile. Here's another handheld.
Since the Steam Deck came out, and even niche and boutique developers before that had been experimenting with Windows handhelds. Obviously, we've got companies like GPD, Ioneo, 1X Player, and the like that had been pushing the form factor for quite some time. Well, as it turns out, Microsoft, in an internal hackathon, kind of gave us a glimpse of their internal developers' ideas at what Windows on a mobile handheld should look like. And the ideas are not that terrible. There's things like a customized game launcher. Let me see if I've got an image of that here. Sorry, it's just in a YouTube video. Or were there pictures further down? There we go. So they had a games launcher.
That looks nice.
Yeah, nice and sleek.
Sable and Elden Ring. What, are they looking at my Steam library?
Right. Well, obviously all of these are things on the Xbox store. So
I do now see that the Xbox logo is highlighted.
Right. Now, to their credit, they included basically everything else that you might want. There's Steam, there's Epic.
Edge.
Edge, right. Got to get your browser in there.
Hey, Edge lets you draw on PDFs right there in the browser. It's glorious.
I mean, that's not a bad feature to have.
It's so great. I've actually been using Edge a lot for that. It's so nice. Marking up PDFs. I used it to sign paperwork the other day.
I know. That was awesome.
It was awesome. I just moved it over to the touch screen because there was anyway, whole thing. It was great.
Yeah.
It was like living in the future, Jeff.
Yeah. Googly says, Jeff, are you going to get an Asus Ally if it happens? I will definitely reach out to Asus and see if they'll send one over. I don't know that at this point I'm going to spend money on another handheld. My handheld videos, they definitely fill their niche on my channel. Like there's a core audience that I kind of broadcast to with that type of content, but it's not general. It's not my general audience that eats that up. And so those videos are kind of hard to do. Like, I don't want to do too many of them, but at the same time, it's a subject that very much interests me. And I don't mind varying the content on my channel. In fact, I was talking to a number of other YouTubers a couple of weeks ago about what do you do to appease the algorithm and make sure you don't get stuck in a niche at the same time. And I've talked about this, and maybe partially to the detriment of short-term success, but the whole idea of my channel was I always wanted long-term success. And If I wanted to, I could have probably just been the Wish.com buying weird crap guy. I could have just been the Chinese X79 guy. I could have just been the VR headset guy. I could have just been the Linux gamer. I could have just been a lot of different things. Like, I've explored a lot of different niches. One of my most popular niches was going into like Windows development or Windows deployment and Active Directory administration and things like that, which is something I used to do for a day job. And when you have trainers and people who run classes reaching out to you and going, holy crap, this is the best explanation of this service that I've ever seen, like, I could have made a full career out of just writing content for those things. But I want this channel to be an enthusiast community that is both generally appreciated as well as has its own niches that it explores. And so sometimes when I find a video subject that explodes really well, I'll lean into it for a couple of videos, but then I'll purposely pivot away from it for a month or two, and then I'll come back to it. And it's an area that I can come back to and kind of dip my toe back in the water and go like, here's where that industry is at right now. Okay, let's move on to where's a VR headset at right now? Hey, where's this thing at? Because I have all kinds of different interests, whether it's augmented reality or, you know, big screen headsets that you slap to your face, whether it's handheld gaming devices, whether it's servers and switches or Chinese AliExpress gear or whatever the case may be. And so part of building that audience is making sure you deliver all of that type of content, even if it doesn't get all the clicks all the time.